Southern Football League web show. I'm Rowan Schreier, I'm part of the media team here at the Southern Football League, and I'm joined today by two coaches of the upcoming broadcast match of the week, which you'll be able to hear on 88.3 Southern FM, and that's between St Paul's East Bentley and Cheltenham Football Clubs. Both sides at the halfway mark of the season are locked together on 7 wins and 2 losses, and I'll just introduce the boys now. To my right is Paul Howard from St Paul's East Bentley. Welcome, Paul.
Thanks very much.
And to my left is Brett Shoulders, the coach of the Cheltenham Football Club. Welcome to you, Brett.
Thank you.
Now, last time you guys met was in the first round of the season. Paul, at that stage you were coming off a premiership win. You're a new coach to the club. Tell us a little bit about how you've applied the new game plan and how you see that game plan taking effect at the halfway point.
Well, we implemented a little bit of a different game plan as to what it was the year before. We knew it was going to take a little bit of time. We just sort of thought around about round 6 to round 8 we should be starting to see some good signs. The Cheltenham game, obviously being the first coach coming off a premiership year, new coach to the club, a little bit nervous, but the way they put themselves forward on the day was really good. The boys were pretty keen to get out there and have a decent hit out. We had only had 2 practice games, and always knew that Cheltenham were fairly strong rival to the club. We always have a good hit out with Cheltenham, so they were pretty keen to get off the mark straight away. And we seem to put everything together on the day, and we got away with a win.
Now, it was a good win that first round, and you've had many good wins in the last couple of weeks. The boys seem to be really firing. In particular, some of the recruits you picked up this year, Peter McCulier, young Harley Ambrose has come through the Colt system last year, and a few other young Colts that you've blooded in the last few weeks.
Yeah, we have got a couple of good recruits this year. I've had a long association with the McCuliers, so there was a bit of a leg in there, which I was pretty happy about. Peter's been down at Casey Scorpions for a number of years. He played in the final series there last year, which, you know, it's no mug to get a game in the final series in the VFL. Young Harley Ambrose, he had done a pre-season down at Sandringham, and he was very, very fit. He came through the St Paul's juniors. He also had his cousin down there in Travis Ridgway, so to get him down there was a real bonus. As far as the young blokes that have been playing, we've had young Kieran Knox. He came in round, I think it was either 1 or 2, I can't remember offhand at the moment, but he held his spot for quite a number of weeks. And another couple of young players, Heath Street and young Reece Pete, they've come in over the last couple of weeks. Young Heath Street, he's played his 3rd game this weekend, and Reece came up this week and handled himself very well. So we have got quite a riches of young blokes at the moment, and we're hoping that they continue their form and they'll have fantastic futures.
You've mentioned Travis Ridgway in there somewhere, and another bag of 9 this week. Would have been disappointed after a couple of weeks of 11 goals for the young fella. Yeah,
Trav, just in regards of the way he's playing at the moment, I challenged him early in the year, and I think also he knew that maybe he could be doing a lot better than what he had been doing. He's enjoying playing with his cousin. He's loving it down there with Harley. He actually was a little bit off target on the weekend, so he keeps telling me. But no, he is playing well. He's grabbing the ball below his knees at full tilt, and all his marks are sticking, and he's not kicking too bad. So he's really making the most of every opportunity. And once again, as far as working down there with Trigger, Rowan Best, it's a pretty good forward line at the minute. But once again, we've got to make sure that we come up good against the better sides over the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Absolutely. Well, just as you guys are flying, so you guys down there at Weatherall Road, Brett, some good wins in the last few weeks, and Big Dom Dunn is a big target for you up forward, and he's certainly been doing the job.
He has, yeah. He's a massive man. He's been 6'7", so he's big. We're probably a bit similar to what Paul was saying. We brought in a lot of new recruits and a lot of new kids, especially early in the year, with injuries and that, and it's taken us a little while to get going as well with Cho, especially, and then all of a sudden having a big 6'6" full forward, it changes your game plan a fair bit. So we're just starting to, we still probably think maybe a couple of weeks we're going to hit our target, hit where we want to be. So.
Adam Cole's a fella that he picked up this year, and He's been a really good force up forward, or across half-back, driving it forward, I should say.
Yeah.
And Brett Kai, he's been just a stalwart down back. And also some young fellas, is it McCartney, I think, young fella that's come through. Young Sparrows had a couple of games too. You haven't been scared in introducing a few colts yourself.
Yeah, we've played, I think we played 7 of our colts. We've had their first senior game this year. Adam Cole actually played last year.
Okay.
But he's a very good footballer. He had a slow pre-season, a few injuries, and it's just starting to get going in the league. I think he apparently played fairly well in the league game.
Mm-hmm.
Jason McCartney and Zach Masoulas played on the weekend. He's back up. Young Pulfa, Bolger, young Swoop, Ifiwati. We'll have a go with not recognising his name, not saying his name probably, but yeah, look, we've given plenty of young guys a go, and look, we had injuries early on, and the young players played well. They played well, and obviously our reserves are 9 and zip, and if you look at our reserve side, it's all full of kids. And that was the process we wanted to take with 2 junior sides coming out.
Now, you touched there on the interleague game where both sides were very heavily represented. St Paul's with 5 players in the final team and Cheltenham with 3. What are your views on the interleague as it was conducted against Riddell this year and going forward versus Paul?
Well, I was very pleased with firstly the St Paul's boys, but as you say, Cheltenham and St Paul's did have fantastic representation in the interleague side. They conducted themselves very well. They were very keen to play. I went and watched the game myself, and as I say, I just think that the way that they held themselves and contributed to the team, they really got into the spirit of the game. And as I say, it was only won by a few points in the end there. So once again, if you get 1 or 2 blokes that aren't quite keen enough, it's one of those things that maybe turns the result the other way. So I think those boys have done the competition really proud.
They certainly did. It was a fighting win at the end, and Adam Cole was certainly a very instrumental part in that.
Yeah, I missed the game. Unfortunately, I was informed to have the weekend off footy by the wife, which was fair enough for the young family. So, but look, when the interleague comes around, I tell my blokes at the start of the year that once you come down and you're playing local footy, that's the highest level you can play now, is interleague, and they should be going. Like, I want as many players in that and playing at that level as could possibly get there. So I know obviously there's always issues, you don't want your best players playing, but and Paul's obviously the same because they certainly had some of their best players playing. But I think you've got to try and play at the highest standard you can, and once you're at local footy, in the league's the highest standard, and you should be striving for that.
Absolutely, and we look forward to interleague clashes going forward. But if you're like me and you love seeing some great one-on-one clashes with some names that we've just heard here in this interview, get down to McKinnon Reserve this Saturday afternoon, because these 2 guys will be leading their armies out to battle in what's going to be one red-hot game of footy. So 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon, McKinnon Reserve, St Paul's versus Cheltenham. We'll see you there. This has been another Southern Football League web show, proudly brought to you by the leading newspapers, localfooty.com.au. Check them out.